My name is Jennifer Paxton, and this is my gallery discussion for week 3. For slide 1, I decided to make Operation ASHA its own separate slide. So Operation ASHA is a non-profit organization that operates in India and Cambodia. And I just saw a typo. But it helps bring awareness to tuberculosis, as it affects the very poor, and every 20 seconds a patient dies from this disease, and not many people are very aware of this going on over there, and one undiagnosed person affects 12 people, and so on. Women and children, once they're diagnosed, they are thrown out by their families, and the children are thrown out into the workforce, and it's just something that has kind of gotten out of hand, and they've just kind of started their own operation instead of joining forces with any of the other movements over there, to try and start something different as opposed to just going on with what is already started. Alright, so I had at first a little difficulty understanding the assignment, which once I actually dove into a scenario, it just flew by. I started working with a peer, so we kind of noticed that locally, there are more and more cats that are being abandoned and just dumped around our areas, and we decided that if there is a safe haven for these cats to be dropped locally with no questions asked, then maybe that could kind of lower them just being dumped in the wild or in the country, in the shelters, picking them up and holding them in their rooms, waiting for their owners instead of just having them be adopted. Because I know a lot of people don't like taking their pets to be rehomed at the animal shelter because animal shelters will tell them, oh, yeah, we'll take your animal to be rehomed for $25, or no, we can't take them, or yeah, you can bring them in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, etc. So that kind of creates a problem of them not being able to rehome, so the pets end up being dumped, and that just infuriates me. No animal should be dumped, as they are a forever member of your family. The peer that I worked with wishes to be anonymous, as they work at a shelter locally, and so they felt that it kind of was a conflict of interest doing this safe haven. So I had to respect that. And they are also working to be a vet tech at the same time. But they are just as passionate about animals and cats as I am, so it was just a perfect fit for this. So we decided to conduct experiments by taking interviews, anonymous polls on social media like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. We asked around at rescues and animal shelters for their opinions on this matter. I know her animal shelter was kind of against the safe haven. We're not quite sure why. I think because they've kind of felt like maybe it would take away from their business, because that $25 fee that they get for their rehoming of the animals that they get goes towards the animals that they have already in the shelter. They felt like this safe haven would kind of take away from their funds of this, but we kind of understood that on a part. But we actually saw that this is actually going to be a success by having a safe haven to relinquish a cat that doesn't charge or ask questions like the shelters do, and it's anonymous. This could potentially stop so much dumping out in the country, that it could really make a difference. And I just, I don't know, it just is something that's really, it means a lot to me to try and end this, because I hate seeing this. So I approached this with ease and wariness because I was unsure of how some people would take it, and I felt that maybe it would be shut down quickly just because um, I know that people are just for or against it. They know how the animal shelter kind of is, and people like quick fixes. So, with each measure of success, momentum was gained, attitudes turned around, things looked hopeful for the future for cats and strays. There was excitement, positive reactions, higher quality connections were created, and with that, our energy for this project just um, got so much better. I was actually surprised that so many people were open for this safe haven idea, and I figured they would just say that that's what the animal shelters were for. And, with the high cost of everything nowadays, people were actually liking the idea that this was kind of a free cost option. And, um, not really, um, not really looking at how these animals were going to be taken care of once they were dropped off, which they would be taken care of by myself, um, my peer who is working to be a vet tech, so obviously she would have the skills to take care of them medically. Um, but everything, we had all the corners taken care of on that end. So I learned that AI helps make us aware of how our negativity bias pervades our investigations into our work and school life, instead shifts our focus to good and to the unnoticed possibilities. And this also came from our reading. The reading definitely helped out with this assignment, so I'm very thankful. Using the 4D in future for problem solving when it comes to trying to save shark species from shark culling and extinction, etc. I'm definitely planning on using, because that is something that I am looking forward to trying to do with my degree. That's something I'm very passionate about as well. I hate seeing the shark extinction level rise. I hate seeing people still shark fin shark finning for shark fin soup, even though Um, Most places it is illegal, but Hong Kong is still doing it. Another example of trying to incorporate this in the future is Indianapolis Animal Shelter is currently at capacity, so many animals are at risk for euthanasia right now. So maybe trying to create many adoption events or, anything like that, to try and help raise awareness to get these animals adopted so they avoid that euthanasia. Um, I think that would be wonderful. And I truly hope that I can become a natural at 40 just so I can be able to incorporate it fully, where it just flows freely, where I don't need to look at resources um, or need help for anything, where I just know what I'm doing. And finally, my references for this assignment. Thank you.